Maris Ellington was not like other kids. She dreamed of the sea, the vast mysterious ocean that called to her every day. Her weekends were spent on the beach, eyes fixed on the waves, imagining the world beneath. Seashells were her treasures, marine biology her obsession. While others idolized pop stars, Maris idolized whales and dolphins. Her bedroom was a shrine to the ocean, filled with posters of humpback whales and stacks of books. At 5, a trip to a marine park changed everything. She saw killer whales, majestic, intelligent, graceful. Watching trainers swim with orcas, she knew this was her destiny. Every school project, every birthday wish, every after-school activity revolved around the ocean. She joined the swim team, became a certified scuba diver, and prepared for a life in the water. The killer whales were her heroes, and she would do anything to get closer to them. It was a pure, dangerous dream, a dream that would one day come true. For Maris, the ocean wasn't just a place, it was her future. She was certain, even as a child, that her life belonged to the sea. The pull was irresistible, and it would shape everything that followed. Maris studied marine biology in college, but the classroom wasn't enough. She volunteered at animal rescue centers, cleaned tanks, fed sea lions, and did every job that brought her closer to the animals. After graduation, she landed an internship at the same marine park she'd visited as a child. It was grueling work, long hours, low pay, starting at the bottom. She scrubbed tanks, prepared fish, and watched the senior trainers learning every detail. She memorized the orcas' names, personalities, and quirks. Her dedication stood out. The head trainers noticed her passion and gave her more responsibility. She became an apprentice trainer, first working with dolphins and sea lions. She proved herself, calm, focused, and respectful of the animals. The animals responded to her, forming a bond of trust. Finally, she joined the killer whale team. Years of hard work had paid off. Maris became a star performer, especially with a massive male orca named Triton. Their connection was electric, the main event at the park. She felt invincible on top of the world. But beneath the surface, danger always lurked. The dream was real, but so were the risks. Maris believed in her bond with Triton. She trusted him completely. The crowds cheered, the shows dazzled, but the line between trust and danger was razor thin. Maris was living her dream. She just didn't know how fragile it was, and how quickly it could shatter. Working with killer whales is nothing like working with pets. These are apex predators, massive, powerful, unpredictable. Trainers sign waivers, attend safety meetings, and are constantly reminded, these are wild animals. Incidents happen. Injuries, close calls, even deaths. The industry tries to keep it quiet, but the stories leak out. Every trainer knows the risks. A playful nudge can break bones, a mistake can be fatal. Behind the scenes, trainers share warnings and advice, always aware of the danger. They love the animals, but fear and respect are part of the job. Maris knew all this. She'd seen the reports, watched the training videos, and respected Triton's power. But she believed their bond was special. It's a belief every trainer needs to do the job. Trust is essential, but it's also a risk. A killer whale is not a person. It doesn't think like a person. That's the fatal misunderstanding. The shows are built on trust, but the danger is always there. Maris thought she understood Triton. She thought he would never hurt her. But with killer whales, certainty is an illusion. The line between partnership and peril is invisible until it's crossed. Every day trainers walk that line. Maris walked it with confidence. But the ocean's kings answer to no one, and sometimes the wild cannot be tamed. The risk is always real, and it never truly goes away. August 3rd, 2025, just another summer day at the park. Families filled the stands, the sun was shining, and Maris was set for the main event with Triton. She went through her routine checking equipment, greeting Triton, feeling the familiar rush of excitement. Triton seemed calm, responding to her commands as always. The show began, music blaring, crowd cheering, Maris and Triton moving in perfect sync. Jumps, splashes, waves. The audience was enthralled. The finale approached, an underwater routine they'd practiced countless times. Maris gave the signal. Triton gently took her foot in his mouth, ready to pull her under for their signature move. It was supposed to be beautiful, a display of trust and connection. The crowd watched, expecting magic. Maris took a deep breath, ready for the plunge. The act was meant to show their bond, but in an instant everything changed. The routine began as planned, but the ocean and its creatures are never truly predictable. The line between show and danger was about to vanish. The audience had no idea what was coming, neither did Maris. The dream was about to turn into a nightmare. Triton pulled Maris under, but something was wrong. The movement turned violent. He didn't let go. The crowd watched in confusion as the underwater cameras showed chaos instead of grace. Maris was thrashed, dragged deeper, spun violently. Trainers on the platform realized the emergency, slapping the water and signaling for release. Triton ignored them, locked in a primal state. He surfaced briefly, letting Maris gasp for air, then pulled her back down. The music stopped. The crowd fell silent, panic spreading. Park staff scrambled, alarms blared, nets were readied. But nothing could stop Triton. Maris was alone in the water with the animal she loved. The bond she trusted had snapped. The illusion of control was gone. The beautiful performance had become a public tragedy. The audience watched, horrified, as the nightmare unfolded. Trainers were helpless. Maris was trapped in the grip of the creature she thought she understood. The show was over. The dream was shattered. The reality of captivity was on full display, and nothing would ever be the same. In the chaos, Maris fought for her life. She tried to stay calm, using every bit of training to survive. She spoke to Triton, tried to use calming signals, but he was unreachable. Her body took a beating, slammed, dragged, battered. Trainers threw fish, lowered nets, desperate to distract him. Triton ignored everything, focused only on Maris. Her strength faded, the cold water numbed the pain, but she was losing the fight. The water, once her home, became her prison. Her final moments were a blur of pain, terror, and confusion. The world narrowed to blue water, black and white flesh, and the pounding of her heart. She knew she was dying. There was a final, desperate gasp for air. The fight left her body. Triton finally released her. She floated to the surface, motionless. The trainers pulled her from the water. The show was over. The silence was absolute. The cost of the dream was clear, and nothing could undo what had happened. The stadium fell silent, broken only by sobs and sirens. Paramedics rushed in, but it was too late for Maris. The joyful park had become a scene of tragedy. News spread instantly. Maris Ellington's death was everywhere. The park shut down, reporters swarmed, and the public demanded answers. Was Triton dangerous? Had there been warnings? Whistleblowers emerged, painting a picture of stressed animals and ignored risks. The park's carefully crafted image crumbled. Investigations began. Training methods, enclosure sizes, animal welfare, all under scrutiny. Triton was isolated, never to perform again, a living symbol of the tragedy. For witnesses, especially children, the trauma was deep and lasting. The happy memories of the park were replaced by nightmares. The world watched, horrified as the truth came out. The debate over marine parks reignited. The illusion of safety was gone. The cost of entertainment was undeniable. Maris's story became a catalyst for change. The industry would never be the same. The tragedy forced a reckoning. The world could not look away. The consequences were just beginning. Maris Ellington's death was a turning point. The tragedy sparked global outrage and debate over keeping orcas in captivity. Documentaries, protests, and public pressure forced marine parks to change. In-water performances ended. Trainers no longer swam with killer whales. Shows shifted from spectacle to education. Regulations tightened. Enclosures were reviewed, and breeding programs were phased out. The industry struggled to adapt, fighting for survival in a world that no longer saw them as innocent fun. Maris's death forced people to see orcas as complex beings, not performers. The debate shifted. Should we keep these animals in captivity at all? Sanctuaries and sea pens became serious alternatives. The ripple effect of that day changed the future for all captive orcas. The magic was gone, replaced by a sobering reality. The industry's image was forever altered. Maris's story became a symbol of the cost of captivity. The world was forced to confront the truth. The changes were monumental. The legacy was undeniable. The future would never be the same. Maris Ellington's legacy is complex. She's remembered as a passionate trainer who loved the ocean and its creatures. Her story became a rallying cry for change, a symbol of the dangers and ethical questions of captivity. In death, she became a martyr for a cause she may not have chosen. Her life and death forced the world to ask hard questions about our relationship with nature. Can love for animals justify their captivity? Can our desire to connect cause more harm than good? The debate continues, but the world is different now. The pools remain, but the illusion is gone. Maris's story is a permanent reminder of the risks and compromises. She is an echo, a warning about the power of nature and the price of dreams. Her memory endures in every conversation about orcas and captivity. The tragedy changed everything. the world will never forget. Maris Ellington's dream lives on, as a lesson and a legacy.